Let's fucking go. You are listening to the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot. Wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all plans. You don't need to understand.
I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy, and the other fucking guy at the controls making it work today is Leo. Leo, good morning to you, my friend. Yeah, we'll get that over there to you. Well, there he is. Or not. All right. Can work on that.
There we go.
There we go.
There's always a delay to this mic for some reason.
Good to have you join us.
Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
All right. We're going to talk a little soccer, so we're going to include you because I just, I'm the casual fan. I'm the guy rooting for, a couple different players and finding some teams that I think are kind of cool. You mentioned when we were first talking, when I got here today, that Cape Verde team, I liked how they played and, defense and just took an onslaught and just took it. And then who was the goalie? There was one game where the goalie had like 15 stops. I mean, he was.
I believe it was Capo Verde versus.
Was
Spain.
that
I believe
game
so.
too? Right, like they were unloading on this guy, and he just kept coming up with it, and like, wow. And also on the couch next to Celia, standing behind him, is Mikey G. Good morning, Mikey.
Good morning, sir. It's been a long time coming for Celia, but it seems like she's finally getting settled in here.
She's getting settled in, right? All right, and so let's roll. Let's get into it. So pretty much, people have finished their second games and starting the third games. And so we know a little bit about what's going on. Who do you know that's kind of on the edge that you think is going to be able to maybe pull off and get into the knockout rounds?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw if Ghana, I think Ghana has a chance to get in because they've drawn their first two games. Or they actually won a game and they drawed against England. So they actually have a chance. And then I heard Cape Verde has a chance to move on. That was my general understanding. So honestly, why not at this point? I mean, you're right there on the edge. Why wouldn't they be able to make it? At the beginning of the tournament, you could be like, oh, whatever. They're just going to be some pushover teams, just some tune-up matches for some of these bigger clubs. No, like they're here to fucking play. So, yeah, I mean, where are we at with Cape Verde?
Obviously, I watched the England game, of course, because I had money on it.
Yeah.
that was the second part of my two-pick parlay, and they fucked it up.
Yeah, I watched
0-0 tie.
They had chances at
Lots
the end.
Lots of chances.
And they just couldn't fucking
Well, at the end, Ghana had chances.
Yeah. They both,
like serious chances, one-on-one.
So, Cape Verde, I think, I saw they have 2 points. Let's see. 2 points? Yeah, I mean, so they have a chance to be one of those, one of those top two teams in his group or even one of those third team that makes it. It would be cool to see them make it, just because it's their first one ever, if I'm not mistaken. So like to see a
Mhm.
small country like that really come out and compete in a group with Spain of all people, and then to
Right.
tie him and shit like that'd be a cool story. Honestly, I'm rooting for a lot of these
I
underdogs.
heard that there was something like, because of where Iran is at and with their 2 draws, they run numbers on all this stuff. There's
Mhm.
like a 20% chance or something like that if they moved forward, there's a 20% chance that at some point they could play the U.S. Would
Yeah,
that be crazy?
yeah. I would. You don't want to make it political, but boy, oh
Oh,
boy, would that be about as political as it
oh yeah,
fucking gets, man.
absolutely.
Be like in the same sense, like the Miracle on Ice type of situation. The Soviets and the Americans, like not as not as hyped up, but that same like feel to it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When you have something like that, um, France and Norway doing what they're supposed to do. Um, Norway, I got to see the whole rowing thing that they do.
Yeah,
It was showing showing Dawn that this kind of cool,
yeah,
you know. So the beat to the drum, then just row,
yeah,
and you got the whole crowd doing it. That does look pretty sweet.
yeah.
That's kind of a
Their own
cool
little
one.
thing.
Yeah. And then Argentina, like to me, it's just lights out, man. They just look so good right now. And obviously, there's a long way to go. But the big news yesterday was really more focused on Portugal and Ronaldo, because the focus so far in the World Cup has been Messi.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
And
absolutely. He's outscored most teams
yeah,
himself.
well, actually, yes, they didn't need any more goals than his
Yep.
to win. But Portugal, with Ronaldo getting a couple goals, people look forward to if that being a possibility in the coming rounds. That Portugal playing Argentina would be pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
France also, they were just given different possibilities like that. So yeah, it was definitely getting to the point of being really interesting. The fields I saw, because not all we're not in all domed places.
Hmm.
That the games that were in Philadelphia yesterday,
Yeah.
they had to work really hard on the field there and getting the water off of it.
Yeah.
So
I forget who they were playing, but France's last game, it was 2 days ago, I think. It was like
versus Senegal. That was a super important game too.
yeah, like it was like it went into halftime, and I swear like a 3 hours later, I looked back, it still said at halftime. I was like, oh damn, like they're getting fucking hammered then.
yeah,
So that should suck, because having to wait around that long is tough on your body.
tough for an athlete.
It's mentally and physically. Like I didn't even see what the game finished at, but I'm assuming France won.
Yeah, it
Is
was
there-
like 4-0, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So it really wasn't much of a competition after that, but it's only 1-0 at half. So
Yeah.
who knows how much of a difference that played?
Well, but both teams are playing in the same thing.
Yeah,
So, both
100%.
have shitty conditions
France is just
like that.
good as shit.
And of course, the U.S. Has the U.S. ever in any previous World Cups in their grouping won all 3 games? Have they ever done that before?
I don't think so.
I want to say no, but I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure this is.
I'm kind of with you guys. I want to say no, but
I think this
maybe.
is the first time that they've like advanced this early. Like they've been guaranteed to advance this early after the first 2 games. I
yeah,
remember-
I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking about
yeah, like winning all their
winning
games,
every
yeah.
game in their grouping, if they've ever done that before.
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't remember a time when it was. It seemed like they either weren't making it out of the group stage, or they were making it by the skin of their teeth, towards the end.
Mhm.
They have never won all 3 games.
Yeah, well, there you are.
Right.
Make it. This team can make history. U.S. history, that is.
And really, they should. Even with, but I don't think Pulisic's going to be back yet. He's not going to be back for this game.
No, which sucks because he looked so good when he was out there in the first game, and that's been his biggest issue is being able to stay on the pitch. He has all the talent. Well,
What is the injury?
it's a
that he's-
calf injury, so it's something lingering, soft tissue that's not as easily
Mhm.
manageable. And how soft tissue injuries are; those can fucking come back at any point,
Mhm.
regardless how good you feel. So hopefully he can maybe get some time. I would like to see him get like 20, 25 minutes in this upcoming game if he does play. But if not, then
I
it
don't
is what it
even.
is.
What I heard that's not even a
No,
possibility.
there's no reason to play him. There's
Yeah.
like zero reason for them to play them.
Oh, they've already advanced. I think of it more of like the warm up
No,
perspective.
but
like
they do
keeping
want to
him-
finish it off.
Yeah, like
you
keeping
know.
him like that chemistry going. I guess.
Mhm.
But it
No,
sucks.
I think that's the one thing about the U.S. that they have an advantage than a lot of teams like Brazil or even like who's one that even like these big teams like even Portugal, Colombia. The thing that the U.S. has is that they have really good team chemistry. I've noticed on the field. Even England, which is this really great team, seems to not have the best chemistry on field that the U.S. does have. So I don't think that'd be an issue for someone like Pulisic.
Too many stars on England. They're all used to getting the ball.
Yeah, but nobody stepped up and made it happen,
Yeah,
which
I
is,
think they would, but
take
They didn't.
turns. Somebody needed to step up, and nobody did. They all played really good, but nobody played great.
Yeah, 100%. And you look at this group. I mean, I'm not talking down on any of them, but Ghana, Croatia, Panama. I mean, England. Realistically, they should have win every single fucking game that they play in this
Mhm.
group, and they just haven't. But
Right.
I
They
don't
should
really-
have won me my money.
Yeah, they definitely should have won. They could have won for sure yesterday. That game was up for the taking for either one of them. So
No, I could be wrong, but England historically has had a horrible competition against African teams, just because again the physicalities the physicality in African leagues are much different than English leagues. So I don't think England players are very. I think Panama, because England is bigger than Panama, that they were able to bully them a little bit more.
Hmm.
Croatia, obviously, I mean you can't count out Croatia. I mean they're veteran squad, so I think that's why they I mean they definitely beat Croatia, but the scoreline I don't think reflected the actual game itself. And then Ghana itself, I mean Ghana, just like I said, they tend to struggle against these African teams that tend to be a little bit stronger and bigger than them overall. So England's a good squad, but I really don't think they're as good on a pedestal as people like to put them on, in my opinion.
they'll choke. I'm sure they will. They
All
usually
right.
do.
All right. That's we'll stay on top of it, following it. It's really cool. The one of the coolest things though is that's been making the news is seeing all of the people posting, all the foreigners posting about their experience coming here, because all we've heard is how like we're so terrible, we're a terrible country, we're terrible people. We're just a bunch of hillbillies and rednecks, drive around in trucks. But when they got here and they rented trucks, they thought that shit was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
I tell you that.
they got cowboy hats now.
Yeah. And I saw, some of the food places they were eating at. And down in Texas, I saw that they were at Terry Black's, which I've mentioned. You can't do better than Terry Black's for barbecue. Everybody, I mean, it's like the #1 barbecue in the U.S. and they're just eating it up, like the food,
Yeah.
in the food choices,
They
and that
enjoy
they
it.
can sit. It can be hot as fuck, and they can sit indoors, and it's 72 degrees, because that's not what's happening over there in Europe.
No, not at all.
But here, yeah, just having it on demand, just what we have, and I think it's really cool, honestly, that people are getting to see, the real country, and real people,
Mhm.
and people being nice to them. Well, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you be? And the other thing that's cool is when they're taking over these bars and stuff in different places they go. Who was it? One, I don't know if it was Scotland, and they took over in Miami. They basically took over a bar, and everybody's just having a good time. They're raucous, but not to the point of stupid or being
Yeah.
or
Belligerent.
damaging shit.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So you see celebrating, but it's a positive celebration.
Yeah.
And that's just cool. Maybe we could take a cue from that.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I do think it's really awesome to hear feedback from them, what they think of our country.
Yeah, and you realize all the things that we might take for granted, like AC.
Yeah,
and shit, 'cause
yeah, absolutely.
I talk about maybe going overseas, but I don't know if I could live without AC. Don't know
I
if
was
could do
trying to
that.
think, how did we do it? When did we go? Or maybe it just wasn't as hot then.
I would imagine maybe like the tourist areas, like some of the hotels would have them, right? Like it's not as widespread, but
Yeah.
like the major spots maybe.
But like all the electrical outlets are different. You got to
Yeah,
take
it's
adapters.
yeah, it's weird.
And like you would fit okay in a shower, but no pun. But the showers are like really, really small.
Yeah,
Everybody, they're just tiny, and the shit's old, and it just is what it is. Um, I think when we went, I remember wearing like a track jacket and jeans a lot, so it wasn't like overly. It wasn't overly hot
Yeah, it's-
when we went.
yeah, it's probably just cool enough for you.
Yeah, just cool enough. Because what they're having now, what we're having it here. We're in a heat wave, and I saw this article that 40 people have drowned in France, and they're blaming the heat wave. That is the reason people are drowning. And I'm like, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah,
Actually, what are people doing that's causing them to drown, for God's sakes?
yeah, that's a good.
I mean, I can get jumping in a pool, different places, but how is this happening? So yeah, they linked drownings to the heat wave. Italy issues highest level alert for 15 cities. Omega block traps heat, fuels prolonged extreme temperature. Climate change intensifies heat wave. Get the fuck out of here with that. Of course they have to do it. So, when we talk about it, you can't like insert climate for weather. But when they do it, when the left uses it, they can. That's allowed. So 40 people have drowned in France over recent days as they sought to cool down to escape record heat. Britain, Italy, Switzerland, Spain were also sweltering. Transport networks, foreign tourist sites, including the Eiffel Tower, to shut. Europe is warming at more than twice the global average, according to the World Meteorological Organization. That heat alert across France experienced its hottest day on record on Tuesday. Forecaster with a peak of 44.3 degrees Celsius, which is basically 112. 54 departments are under red alerts. Across the country, people have been jumping into canals and rivers to cool off. Sports Minister Marina Ferrari said she understood the urge to escape the heat, but warned against swimming in unauthorized or dangerous areas. Speaking ahead of an emergency meeting on the heat, Prime Minister called the drownings a sad scourge and said there had been 40 deaths since June 18th, mostly younger people. First responders were unable to resuscitate 2 children, 2 and 4, who were found unconscious by their mother in a family car outside their home. So I guess, they didn't check the back seat there in France. I still don't. So because they jumped in a canal, they drowned? I mean, you should know what your ability is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't understand how they drown, because especially if there's a lot of people around, like you would think that it would be less likely you would see somebody struggling.
And, one of the things I've said for decades now, for a long time, going way back to my radio show days in Toledo, is that we have the richest poor of anywhere in the world here.
Yeah.
We have the richest poor. That our lifestyles exceed the lifestyles on average of any European country, you know, in what their basics are. Our middle class gets has a way better life than their middle class.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say. And here is just another clear example of something that we take for granted is the, you know, energy, having enough energy and being able to pay for it and to be able to cool off or heat up or, you know, what in the winter, whatever, but something that they just don't have there. And that's like, we just don't even think about it until something like this happens and, you know, it's brought to national or international attention. And it's a shame that people are dying jumping into a canal, but I don't know, a little bit of that
It's just as much user error as it is anything
kind
else.
of, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I still don't want to see somebody die, but like, dude, use your
Maybe just go waist high.
head.
Just stay waist high.
Something.
And dunk your head every once in a while. But
Or know your limitations and know what it is you're jumping into and the depth. And if you don't have a swimming ability, well, you might want, you know, to put you know, a
Some
little jacket
floaties.
on, a little floating jacket, or yeah, something. You'd want to do something, right?
I can't lie though. They said it reached peaks of what would be 112 degrees. That would fucking suck without AC. I can't. Like, I feel for them on that. Like, I sweat my ass off on much lower temperatures. So 112, no AC. Ugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. I mean, that's what we experience here.
Yeah.
We get up into those temperatures. Of course, it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
But it's still
Still hot
hot.
as
It's
fuck.
112. It burns, man.
It does. It's you feel
Leave your mug in the car
Yeah.
and then go grab it. And you're like, holy
Ten-
fuck, it's
for like-
on fire,
for
man.
like 10 minutes too. It doesn't have to be long.
Oh yeah.
Like, I had a friend that just moved here, and I told him the first thing you need to do is get one of those. Because he doesn't have tinted windows, I was like, you need to get one of those windshield blockers. Because every time you get in your car, it's gonna be way hotter than everyone else's, but you're gonna fucking burn your hand every time you touch your steering wheel. And it's he like after a couple of days, he was like, yeah, I get what you mean. Like, and he got one. I was like, yeah, see, I'm not dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine not having air.
Yeah, that's one of the. I think that's one of the things that I would miss the most about anytime I've had a conversation of living in another country or living in another era. I would miss being able to just take a shower when I wanted and then having AC. Like, those are two things that I just don't know if I could be able to compromise on that.
Yeah. And again, we think those are like just pretty basic,
it's
simple
just-
things.
Yeah,
We take it for granted, and that's
Absolutely.
not something everybody has.
So listen up, liberals. If you think it's that bad, why don't you go over there?
Yeah, well, and that's what the foreigners coming here for the World Cup are saying. Like, oh my God,
This is so great. Yeah, no, but we're just a bunch of rednecks. We're a bunch of bigot rednecks. We're not nice
you
people.
can go to Costco and cool down if you want.
Yeah, yeah,
the
for real.
videos of them in Costco are funny too. They're
Then
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I saw a video of this guy who went into Walmart. He's from the UK, and he was like shocked at like what Walmart was. He's like, why is this clothes section so big? And I was like, seems pretty fucking normal to me. Like, and he's like walking by. He's like, he got pool stuff in the aisles. Like, he was just blown away by every little thing. It's like watching a child like discover the world for the first time. It's hilarious seeing some of these videos.
I spent like $50 for a cab ride. I think it might have been $100 round trip because I wanted to experience a Walmart in Mexico.
Just to see what
Just want to see it, and I got somebody to take me.
And what was it like?
It was similar to what you'd have here, and then seeing what they had in there, you're like, well, somebody's buying this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? The name brands or the brands were different, you
Yeah.
know, and at a lower level. And it's just funny to see signs of something that's, you know, 56,900 pesos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, what a deal.
Stuff like that in the aisles, and it was cool. It
Yeah.
was cool. You know, Mexican Walmart.
Well, if I
Yeah.
ever have the opportunity, I'll check one out.
So yeah, you should. It's just for shits and
Just,
giggles.
yeah, just to see what's up.
So yeah, I don't the whole crap about the climate. Yeah, whatever. This has happened for millions of years, but yeah, be careful in France.
Yeah, I mean,
what you're jumping into.
say don't put your head too long underwater, I guess.
I don't know, but that's so fun because really, I still didn't see anything that was going to lead me to an answer.
I don't think they know. They probably just know 40 people
And
died.
they're just linking it, for whatever reason. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. What else? I want to get back to sports, and just quickly because we did bring it up the other day, Major League Baseball, and we brought up the Pride Day and the writing on the hats, and then one of the senators, Senator Hawley, had sent a email to the baseball commissioner, and basically saying, they wanted to understand what was going on, and make sure that these players weren't being disciplined for exercising, their religious rights.
Which is good.
Yeah, it is. It is good. What is funny about this is in the article. Go down a little bit further. A little bit further. I was trying to find where it was. Up, right there. Said the rule about being collectively bargained, and they said they didn't want it to that they do things like to not be political, but that's exactly what Pride Day is political.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
It is the whole point. And the two big teams that are involved that you see a lot of this dumb shit with is San Francisco and then LA. LA is just as bad as what San Francisco said. Yeah, here. Manfred acknowledged that Major League Baseball has tried to avoid putting players in a position of being required to take part in commemorative events that may conflict with their religious beliefs or values. Really? Because that's what this is. That's what this is.
It's exactly what this is. It's like verbatim of what it is.
And then you're basically putting peer pressure on people, because if you have everybody do it and then three guys that don't, the focus is going to be on those three guys. They're going to be attacked on the team's social media or, things like that. They're going to go after them and things like that because everybody has to comply. That's how it works with the left, is everyone has to comply.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny that he said that, when it's like, dude, that's exactly what this is. 100%. So, prevent players from becoming political social issues while in uniform. But that's,
yeah.
This isn't the first time.
No, it's a recurring theme, not just in baseball,
Right.
but in sports across the fucking world, unfortunately. And yeah, they always put it under the guise, oh, it's not political, but it's exactly what it is. Like, it's always been used as a political tool. Like, we're not going to sit here and believe that it isn't political, especially when you have people that will, within like these communities, will use it politically.
Look, I said, you don't have to do a special thing, but look, if you do want clothes that, are gay,
Yeah.
okay, put them in your shop. Put them in there, sell them. You don't have to. You don't have to have a day. You don't have to have a month or anything like that. If that community really supports your team, and that's great, and you want to offer things that you think that they want, the markets will tell you. You know what's profitable to do, how many to make. You'll figure it out. It's a business.
Yeah.
Operate it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to take a loss regardless because, again, the majority of your fan base, the people who are spending money on teams, the organizations, the whole league, they're not all going to be from this LGBT blah blah
No.
blah community. So like, you're going to take a loss no matter what. So it's really about how much of a loss you're willing to take before you want to pull it.
So 2 years in a row now with the Phoenix Mercury, they've given away jerseys.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not, the highest quality jerseys, but they're giving away jerseys.
Mhm.
But they're gay jerseys.
Yeah.
And they say pride on them. And that's the only option. And it's however many they do, 5,000, 7,000, whatever they give out to the first people that come and that kind of thing. So we've gotten, 4 jerseys since we have 2 tickets,
Yeah.
2 last year, 2 this year. But I can only get a free gay jersey, but I can't get just a free regular jersey.
Apparently
You see what I
not.
mean?
Yeah, apparently
Like,
not.
Why can't I have just a regular jersey as an option?
Not this month, you won't.
No, that's what I mean by like just overwhelmingly like just pushing that. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I really think it's just because of negative publicity. They'd rather just take the loss on money and not have people bitching at them rather than, I don't know, creating. It's a losing battle either way, because if you don't do it, that side's gonna bitch at you, and then when you do it, like people like us
Yeah.
are a bit pissed about it and annoyed by it and over it. We're just tired of it.
Yeah, but which is your bigger audience?
The ones that come to your games, every game, regardless if it's Pride Night or not.
Right.
Those ones. But until the only way that you make a company fucking realize is when you stop spending money. And that's a hard thing to do for people because they love their sports teams.
Yeah.
It's hard for them not to.
Yeah, it is. That we had all that, and we're dealing with all that for a while with kneeling, particularly in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And which teams did, which teams didn't. People saying, "Well, I'm not, buying team jerseys or products anymore." My team is my team.
Yeah.
And I like my team, and I like hats. So
I think it's crazy that they had the whole kneeling thing, but then like they always had like the salute to service stuff like that. It's like you couldn't be any more hypocritical and just playing the fence any more than you were in those days.
Yeah.
Like I think they're a little bit more aligned on what's their bread and butter. They got reminded of that, but it got a little bit weird there for a second. Like we're just like, what the fuck's going on? Why are they so eager to promote all this and be okay with it?
Mm-hmm.
It's. I'm glad that era is over because that was annoying as shit.
Yeah. There's still remnants.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
With things they put on helmets, things they put in the end zone.
I mean, things that they say.
I mean,
Abdul
how
Carter
much
still made-
impact does writing "end racism" on an end zone really have? How much impact does that really have?
And they just stopped that. I think.
I mean, I
last
agree.
year.
I want to end racism too, but like,
I think it's a little bit redundant because everyone's like, yeah, no shit, but it's like kind of like. It's like the NFL, like, hey, look at us. We're nice people. We want to end racism. Like, it's all fucking publicity. But at the end of the day, you're a corporate company. We know where you truly align, and it's your fucking pockets.
it's your money.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah, you do have to look at things like that. We'll find out, what's the other person's motive,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to look through it at that lens to really get to understand, kind of what's going on. So here are a couple things that were funny the other night. Our Phoenix Mercury are in Indiana and played the Indiana Fever on Tuesday night. Dawn and I watched the game, of course, dominated by Phoenix in the first quarter. They limited them to like 6 or 9 points. I think maybe they scored a 3 with 2 seconds left, but it was just total domination by Phoenix in the first quarter, and then Indiana crushed them the rest of the way. Like it was not close at all. It got a little bit of scuffles going on. But here's one of the things we were talking about recently, you and I. We were talking about presenting your best product, presenting Caitlin and using her and bringing more players instead of hiding her. Or when there was a game and they're showing a picture of an athlete or two on each side, that the one time they didn't include her.
Yeah.
They didn't include her on there. And we're like, what are you doing? So how about this at halftime? I've never seen this before, and that's why I'd love to show it to people. So all the girls, including Caitlin, got makeup on.
Okay.
Okay. It's kind of weird seeing them with the makeup on. And Caitlin's one eyebrow, she looked good, but the one eyebrow looked like it was drawn funny. I don't know. But anyways, the whole thing was about her and interviewing other players and them making good comments about her.
Okay.
And they've never done that. And it included players like DeWanna Bonner, who she ends up getting into a little scuffle with in this game.
So that
it was kind of ironic.
They put on makeup like at halftime just to.
No, it was something that was made up that they did. You know, they a little thing they put together of clips and interviewing different players, interviewing Paige Beckers, but all really talking about the effect of Caitlin Clark and her presence in the league. And it was being all positive, and I was like, where's this coming from? Because y'all have not done this at all.
Yeah.
And it's a smart move, but it was really funny, again, because you have one of the players saying nice things about her who wasn't saying nice things during the game.
Yeah,
I mean, it got so bad that there were 5 technicals on one play.
That's crazy.
And yeah.
That's an NBA play.
Yes. And so, Sophie Cunningham who did she get into it with? It might have been her and Bonner. And she just she does this thing like where she's just staring at her and like, she's she's probably the hottest enforcer in the league. You know what I mean? Like there was Hines Thomas on Indiana, I'm not saying she doesn't look nice. I'm just saying she's tough and strong. And, Sophie, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
She's Sophie.
That's kind of,
but she's still, for being a hot chick, she's a good baller. She didn't have a great game that game. She wasn't hitting shit, but she kept trying. But, she's protecting Caitlin. That's what she's done. She's taken that as part of her job and going after the other players.
Yeah,
and
that's all I see on.
It's so funny.
If I see anything about Sophie Cunningham on social media, it's like her protecting Caitlin Clark, and them like talking about like her. Yeah, like they talk about like everybody's got this crush on her because she's good looking, but she's also defending somebody who was getting obviously targeted.
Yes.
You could let me know. Does Caitlin Clark still get targeted like she was, or has that kind of fallen off?
It's well, the thing is that my view of it was not that she wasn't getting targeted, but that the officiating was so bad across the league, and it still is. So it wasn't just her. It was happening to other players and bad calls and the whole thing. But there was this animosity, like that. It would be, it'd be like somebody going on a job site, and you're a first-year electrician, and everybody else on the job site's, a journeyman, a veteran that's been around 10, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get some shit,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
yeah, kind of thing. And like, again, I think people were jealous of the buildup.
They definitely were.
Yeah. Now her shoe's going to come out in October. So instead of the shoes that she's been wearing have been Kobe Pronto shoes,
Mhm.
It's going to be a CC shoe. I don't necessarily like the CC logo. I think it's kind of lame. I wish they could have done something more with that, but that's what it is. And, there are other players that have shoe deals, but nobody has. I don't even know if Asia Wilson, who has her own shoe with Nike, I'd love to know the difference, and I just haven't looked it up, what the difference is in money that each of them are getting from Nike.
True.
And,
Yeah.
but I doubt anybody in the WNBA has a better shoe deal than what Caitlin Clark has.
Well, I mean,
It's got to be the most
she was
most
getting
money.
crazy offers to just not play in the WNBA. She was getting that $10 million offer to play in the Big Three league.
Yeah.
So if people are willing to pay, if a company like that, they're not small. They've got they got some money, but if they're willing to pay her that, like Nike is definitely willing to pay her a good check just to have her have that shoe, have that logo, the whole branding of it,
the whole thing.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the press conference. We got a little video of the press conference because she got called for a technical for clapping, basically. It's
Real quick, was this before or after the big scuffle? Because if it was after, it makes sense, but before, that'd be fucking dumb.
yeah, but you gotta you have to say, I don't remember.
Okay, it's all right.
Yeah, I don't remember. But let's hear what she had to say about it.
I think it's muted. Oh no, it says
Yeah,
it's playing.
it's moving.
Sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties today and over the weekend. Life is like that sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah, it says the
Yeah.
sound's on, but yeah, it doesn't look like anything is playing. Yeah, we're using the backup computer for the moment while the main computer gets looked at. Had a little bit of issue with it, so we apologize for that.
Coach had a different answer.
If any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's
There
truly
we
for
go.
clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me was for clapping. So it's just ridiculous. I don't understand it at all.
So even within that, though, how aware do you have to be of the 8 technical fouls?
I mean,
This
I'm
has been
going
the
to
first
play
game.
with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation and why other players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, that's what I went to Gerda and said. I said, why did you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said, okay, then you just don't like competitive basketball. And that's just facts. That's just reality. So disappointing from them.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it happened after the scuffle because she's saying if you're instigating, like it's clapping before something like that happens wouldn't be looked at as instigating. But if you had to hand out 5 technicals, and
Yeah,
then you get
but
up in
like
there,
she would go around and she does, after a play like that, she's doing this, getting the crowd all into it and everything. And that wasn't
anything worthy of a technical.
No.
Yeah, to
that,
get
that
teed
just,
up for
that,
it.
that just isn't.
She's got a bit of a chippy side to her. I've heard like a couple different times where like I don't know, she just didn't agree with one thing or another, and she's not afraid to kind of just let it rip a little bit. Honestly,
And it was kind of interesting because I know the Phoenix Mercury team. I know the Fever team. I watch those games, and I watch quite a lot. You'd be surprised how much I watch of the other teams. Last night I watched Vegas and Liberty, so I do watch a lot of the other games besides just the ones that are Phoenix Mercury games. But I know the players, and I did watch. There was a drive that AT was making in the paint, going to the hoop. Caitlin could have slid over a little bit. She didn't do it.
Yeah.
No, because she's smart enough to know too, you know, like what players to, engage and what players not to.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and AT will run over you.
Yeah.
And then they started putting copper on her. And so they would try to, get copper off, have some screens and some different things. But Caitlin's smart enough to know when to pick her shots too. And then she's got somebody else on her and they can't guard her.
Yeah.
They can't, they don't have that ability. So she just takes it then.
Yeah.
But she knows when to defer to other good players on her team as well. The turnovers, they got to get better at the turnovers. Just way too. That's just a league-wide thing too. That's just ridiculous.
Probably lack of chemistry, like you said. No training camp, and then everything's kind of like rushed before the season. They got like 2 weeks to play together.
Yeah, for sure.
I could definitely. I mean, shit. It takes some of the best. Some of these dynasty teams we've seen in multiple sports. It's taken them an entire year to fucking really get their bearings together and understand how to play together. Remember when the LeBron joined the Heat and how like the first half of that season, everyone's like, "Uh-oh, this is not turning out the way we thought," and then that second half of the year, they just fucking torched everybody. So like to try and give them 2 weeks to figure that out is kind of nuts, to be honest.
Speaking of Miami,
Yeah, I know the Giannis.
what do you think of that trade?
I mean, I think the Bucks are gonna regret this for the rest of their existence. To be quite honest with you,
Really?
yeah, because why wouldn't you just want to let that dude like?
And isn't it crazy to trade first-round draft picks that are 2031 and 2033 and
They're just expecting not to need those picks. Well, they're expecting them to be late enough to the point where it's not going to be as valuable as what they're going to get from Giannis. I mean, that was the asking price, and if the Heat weren't going to pay it, the Celtics were. Like
Really?
somebody was going to pay that price. So, if you want to win, sometimes you got to go.
I
and
just
get
thought
your
it was
guy.
a really, really high price.
Oh, it definitely was a high price. And then when you put it in comparison what the Lakers got for Luka Doncic, I mean, that like Luka's looking like an absolute steal now,
Yeah.
even more than it was in the first place. But yeah, the Giannis trade, that shakes up everything in the East, everything, because the Bucks sucked with Giannis. They didn't listen to anything that Giannis said, and they weren't. All you gotta do is just make sure he has players around him that he likes to play with and can make shots when they need him to make shots. Need them to make
Right.
shots. They didn't have that, so it's like, what do you expect? Do you think the guy's just gonna sit around and just be shitty the rest of his career? No, like sorry, you guys had your chance. You thought you took it for granted. You thought he was this loyal guy.
And to me, this is as competitive as the NBA has been in a long while.
we haven't had back-to-back champs in like I think almost 10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that alone shows that it's becoming a much more competitive league, and teams are starting to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, just this many also great players, this many great big players at one time. It's different. That hasn't been the thing for 15, 20 years. Not like this.
Well, unfortunately, the fans love that, but the NBA loves when there's a dynasty. They love that because they can market the shit out of it. They can milk it. I mean, when the Golden State Warriors were like that 4 or 5 year run, I mean, that's like they were the golden children of the NBA. They could do no wrong. Like they would obviously get fouls that called for them and not against them. Like there was definitely there's a lot of favoritism to make sure that they stayed at the top. And coming as a Cavs fan, it might be a little biased to say that, but still, I've talked to Lakers fans, I've talked to Spurs fans, like they all feel the same way, like during that era.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just again, I don't think they faced as deep of league-wide competition as what there is now.
Well, they played the Cavs fucking 3 years in a row, so that tells
I'm
you.
just saying it was
that tells
very
you right
limited.
there.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if the Spurs go back next season. I'm not going to be surprised if it's Oklahoma.
Mhm.
All right. I'm not going to be surprised if on the other side the Celtics, the Pistons, the Cavs. It's just
Now the Heat.
the Heat.
Yeah.
You still got the Knicks.
The Raptors are a solid team. Like they're no pushovers. They don't have any superstars, but they know how to fucking play together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just so deep
Yeah.
that you're not going to be surprised. Possibly the Lakers.
The Lakers wouldn't be
can,
yeah.
if they could get rid of LeBron.
No. Oh, he can come back to Cleveland.
I'm just saying. I think that with what the team they have, if they want to be better, and they're made these moves, you can't keep doing this piecemeal. You need to be this is your future, and that be Luka, and move on from LeBron. You had your LeBron era. Let the LeBron era be over. And I'm not saying that to be a dick or to get rid of him. I'm just saying it's just time. And if you want to be competitive, because I think they're actually better. I think they're better without him.
Well, it might be time to come back to Cleveland. I've been asking that for the last 3 years. But speaking of that, I think about 10 minutes before we went live, the Lakers re-signed Austin Reeves. I think I had the notification here.
Good.
Yeah. So, they signed him to a 4-year, $185 million maximum contract, which, considering that like bench players get like over 100 million, you'd think he probably would have been able to get more somewhere else. But he must
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think for that $180 million.
Dude, like I don't. Miles Turner is getting over 100 million. He hasn't done shit with the Bucks, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just because their TV deal keeps going up. So like we're like, wow, he's getting 100 million, but then you have guys getting fucking $300-400 million contracts. So
Yeah.
it's a crazy concept. Very crazy
I agree.
concept.
And hey, get your money.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm all for it. But Trevor Bauer, did you see he's going back to Mexico?
I did not see that actually.
Yeah, he's heading back to Mexico. And I just got to say about him, because whenever a story comes up, I mention him, because I just think, and I'm always going to think this, that it's just so shitty, that it's just so shitty of Major League Baseball to do this to him, for him to not get another shot, especially with everything we know about that situation. And if anybody deserves another shot, it's him.
Is the season
And
over?
he's good enough. He's good enough.
Oh, he's 100% good enough. I watched guys get fucking hammered. There's guys that they just call up because they got guys injured. They want to give other pitchers rest, and they're just like, all right, well, we're just conceding this one. This guy's gonna get fucking hammered. It is what it is. Hopefully we can score
Right.
more runs. But is the season of with the Ducks,
Whatever that thing was.
is it over? Or
I don't know.
it says after dominating the Atlantic League with the Long Island Ducks, so their
Yeah.
season must be over. They probably have a shortened season,
That would make sense.
and they only play 7 innings too. So yeah, that would definitely make sense.
I just don't understand that there's usually at least one team
That is, yeah.
that's a rebel team. I don't know who that team is in baseball. Who's the Los Angeles Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders of baseball? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can't, I don't really know for certain off the top of my head. I was going to say the Texas Rangers, because they kind of go against the grain a lot, especially with the Pride Night stuff. They're not with all that. So, like, I would say they're, like, the most rebellious. They got that Texan attitude.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good team to throw out there.
You would think a team that just fucking sucks and has nothing to lose, like, you're just like, hey, let's just see what we got at them.
Or just to, bring people to the stadium, and it's not going to cost you very much, and to see him play.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe have a little Trevor Bauer jersey night or something like. Well, they won't do all that.
no, he wouldn't do all that, but
but,
I can guarantee you that if he did play for some, there's people would be like, I'm going to that. I want to see him.
He's a
I
former.
want to see him if he's still got it.
The guy won a Cy Young. I mean, you don't just lose it. Like guys pitch almost into their 40s. He's
You know
still
what
in
I
that
saw
range.
last night, and I don't understand its popularity, but it is popular. And I just can't deny it. It is popular. I just don't understand why. But the banana ball.
I fucking hate banana ball. I hate it.
But have you seen how popular it is?
Yes, it is
The
beyond
places are packed.
Yes.
And former Cincinnati Reds, dude's probably in his 50s now, played in the 2000s.
Yep.
Adam Dunn.
Yeah.
He took 4 pitches, swung at 3 of them, and struck out. Didn't even foul off a ball. But he was there. But they brought in a major league, former major league player, and his days with the Reds, he was actually a solid player.
Yeah, he was a good hitter. I mean, he did have that streaky of it was home run or strikeout with him, so that actually doesn't surprise me. But
what is it with banana ball?
It's just the casual. It's entertaining for the casual viewer. Like this is what the MLB wants in terms of getting the casual viewer, but they're not willing to go to those.
You mean to
lengths.
have them do dance routines?
Well, they won't go that far, but that's the casual viewer that they want because you see they're fucking packed out. I mean, they're getting their games are aired on ESPN. I mean, it's insane to me. They're getting airtime, and I can be buzzkill or whatever, but I just as somebody who's watched baseball, play baseball, I fucking hate everything that it stands for. I can't. To me, it's a mockery of the game, in my opinion, and it's going to be an unpopular one, and I don't care.
Yeah. Because it is popular. I'm just trying to figure out why or, what rules are different. Are they really trying to win?
No, that's the thing. They're not. Like, it's basically the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, essentially. Because, you hit a ball. If you hit a foul ball.
Except it's both teams.
Yeah. Well, if you hit for instance, if you hit a foul ball in that league and a fan catches it, it's an out. So, it's just I don't know, maybe a way to be more inclusive in terms of entertainment and keeping their attention and wanting to be there. I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have with why it's so fucking popular. I don't understand it, but maybe it's just I'm not the casual fan, so that's probably why.
Yeah. I'm a casual fan. I don't get it.
I
don't know. I was trying to think because they were playing it at the gym last night when I was there, and I was trying to think if it came to Phoenix, and maybe it already has, would I go to a game? Would I be inclined to go to a game? Because we go to so many sporting events, and I don't think I would.
I wouldn't. A buddy of mine that I used to work with, he's a baseball purist as well. And when he goes back home to North Carolina, and they had a game in North Carolina, and he went, and he said he had an incredible time. So I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things you might just have to go there to experience it, and then decide whether you like it or not. Just from the outside looking in, I fucking hate it. that's just me. Sorry, but that's just how it is.
All right. And if I didn't mention, tonight, Caitlin Clark and the Phoenix Mercury match up again. So I'll be talking about that Friday for sure. Couple bigger stories that we're going to get to. This has been going around, especially on X for, I don't know, a little over a week. But people have been talking about the USAID again. And, that they basically got rid of 80% of the contracts and funding for USAID. And then they basically turned it over to the State Department. So it's under Marco Rubio's direction now, whatever. But this Ro Khanna is a snake.
Yeah.
Because when I've seen him actually do, on the PBD podcast, he was on there, where he can sound in an interview like older traditional Democrat, not crazy, not the liberal lunatic of the AOC type ilk, but he is, because other times he talks, he says the most outrageous things, and he's right in line with the craziest people in the party. So he's a total snake.
Sounds like a politician.
Yeah, but this is bad. Like, believe what you want to believe and stand behind it. But Elon Musk, he's been going out and talking about Elon Musk And he said, I do believe once we take power, there needs to be accountability. There needs to be accountability for Elon Musk. You know, they're celebrating that he created 4,400 millionaires, but they don't talk about the 4.5 million children around the world he possibly sentenced to death by dismantling USAID. So they've been doing that, and they use numbers of anywhere from 1 million to 4 million to say that Republicans, because they got rid of this program that was used to give money to other countries for some pretty fucked up shit. You know, really, I mean, supporting gender and LGBTQ shit, where they're giving countries $2 to $4 million to support that in other countries. Well, most Americans don't want that money spent on those types of things here, let alone in another country.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least that's in the budget, what it said it was being used for. Okay. And it's just absolutely crazy. So, you know, with Doge, they got rid of all that. Look, I think if 4.5 million children would have died in the past year, okay, we'd know about it.
Oh, 100%.
Right. You know what I mean?
Know about that.
Because because obviously it would be in addition to the normal number of children. And so all you have to do to prove this stuff wrong, and I didn't do it, but I will, is, you know, how many children around the world, you know, or how many children in other countries have died? What's the total number worldwide under the age of 12, 15, pick an age? How many died, you know, in 22? How many died in 23? How many died 24? How many died in 25? And see if you have an increase year over year in any of those years. Well, it would be later, not the 22, but you want to get those as a base, right?
Yeah.
That there was a 4.5 million increase.
You would see that. There'd be a massive spike.
Exactly.
A huge spike.
And to label somebody that and to call somebody that, that's like the worst possible things that you can say about someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Say you don't like him. Say he's a jerk. All kinds of things. But accusing him of killing 4.5 million children, I'm sorry. That's just, I'm not there. That's just way too far, way too outrageous of shit. And you know, if that is something you can sue for, then you know, Elon has the money. I wouldn't blame him for doing it.
100% has the money, but yeah, that's defamation. 100%. To sit here and say that he's responsible for the death of 4.5 million children, how else would you fucking frame that? Like you're basically selling this man's name on national television. And not only that, he's like you said.
But that makes him a target too.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
For the lunatics.
Even more so.
It makes him a target to some lunatic out there that says, oh my God, Ro Khanna said he killed 4.5 million children. That's just sick. I'm going to take that guy out. I'm going to be a hero for killing Elon Musk. And people will love me. I'll be in jail, but, you know,
my
at least
name will live forever.
My name will live. I like that. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Well, I hope that's not the case, but, you know, we've seen how many attempts on the president's life. Why wouldn't it happen to Elon Musk? I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, here, the global increase in 2024, the number of under 5 deaths sat at roughly 4.6 million. However, in 25, the number rose by over 200,000 deaths, pushing the total back up to an estimated 4.8. Public health experts and organizations like the World Health Organization, who you can't believe, attribute the sudden spike primarily to sweeping cuts in global health and foreign aid from high-income nations.
So it's not just the United States then.
No, it's other countries too, but they always focus on us. But still, I mean, I don't necessarily believe them, but let's say we do. It's 200,000. 200,000 is not 4.5 million.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't like to see that number anything past 0 for sure. But, you know, life, you know, the world is a fucking harsh place, unfortunately. But right there at the end, it says, unlike global trend driven by disease, the rise in U.S. has been driven heavily by spikes in firearm injuries, substance use, and sudden infant death syndrome. That's got nothing to do with anything that Elon is a part of. Like that's
Uh-huh.
in-house in our country. So like, I don't. It's hard for me to believe a lot of that stuff, especially because we have literal proof that this money wasn't going to this aid. It wasn't going to the places that it was being. We thought it was being used for. Like
Right.
we know that. So I'm with you. It's hard to believe that those numbers are increasing because of that. When really, like, it's just not the case. Like we see it right here.
Well, like I said, even if we take what they said at face value, 200,000,
yeah,
that's not 4.5 million.
I mean, look. I mean, just look. How many?
And we don't know that 200,000 was all from start. They all starved. It was starvation.
Yeah, like it can't be the same thing. Like I remember looking up a long time ago how many people died, not just children, but people that died just from the fucking flu every single year. It's like 300,000 yearly from the flu. I mean, it's 2026. How the fuck is that? How is that still a thing? But they want to sit here and blame this one specific person for this very specific increase.
Well, because they want his money.
Yeah.
They want to literally, and they say that now. They say that shit out loud now.
Yeah.
They want to take his money and feed children.
That's not. I really wish they wouldn't die on this hill. I would love for them to actually go there and see whether this money is actually going to these places. Because I'm sure if you ask them, the people that are supposed to be receiving the aid, they're probably like, no, we're not receiving anything. Like status quo over here, unfortunately. Same old shit, different day.
Yeah.
So I would need to take a deeper dive on this, but the numbers alone just tell me that it's all exaggerated and it's all meant to just bring down one fucking person.
It's just meant to grab attention.
Yeah.
With it being such
That's all it's for.
a big number. But you're also smearing somebody in the process.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Well, why? And I guess I'll play ball with him a little bit. You think he was the only person doing every single step along the way? You think it was all him? He might have made the decision, but how about all the people that helped enforce it? All the employees, like you're not going to hold them accountable, but you'll hold him accountable. Like it just makes no sense to me that you try to put all this on one person when it's not on one person. It's all bullshit, but it's not on one person.
Well, their focus is just on trillionaires.
Yeah,
now.
it's ridiculous.
The one and only trillionaire. We don't have shit because of that trillionaire.
He only made 40. Yeah, who cares that he made 4,400 millionaires in our country and changed their lives forever? Generational wealth. Who cares about that? Let's just look at all the bad stuff that he allegedly did. We don't have proof he allegedly did. It's his fault. Like it's absurd to me. They always want to point out the bad, never the good.
Yeah. Well, and two, think of the number of people that worked for SpaceX for maybe 8 years, got stock, kept it, obviously, and then, went to work for another company, and maybe they'll work for another company yet. To have that on their resume that they were, there at the beginning of SpaceX.
Yeah.
You're gonna make more money and have a better shot at getting the job than the next guy.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to have that on his
that's
resume.
just how it is.
He's done it. That's like saying, do you want the guy that went to the Super Bowl or the guy that didn't go to the Super
Didn't make
Bowl?
the
Both
playoffs.
can do the job, but one guy has the experience of the Super Bowl. Which one you want?
Yeah.
I'll take the Super Bowl guy.
And one thing that's we've talked about it multiple times throughout the duration of even just me being on here. Why is it always the U.S. that gets blamed? Like, why are we supposed to foot the bill for everybody else's problems? Like, I understand, like, I don't want children to die. That's not what I'm saying here. But how about these other countries fucking pitch in? How about you send some people, send some aid, send this, like, help them out? Why is it just all on us? And we know why, but I ask, why the fuck is this still an issue? Like, we don't take care of everybody's problems. We help, and yeah, we might put our hands in certain pots, but we're not everybody's fucking savior.
And we're not supposed to be.
We can't, because at one point it just no longer becomes about the American people.
And when we're not taking care of our own shit, then especially
It all comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
And
you,
then
you
who
gotta
you gonna
you gotta pick.
Who are you gonna look to then when we're fucking crumbled down?
Yep. This was good news, though. I didn't expect this in Texas. There were some anti-ICE protesters that finally got to a court, because all I think of is they get arrested, and no matter how serious the thing is they've done,
Yeah.
they get released,
Yeah.
and nothing ever happens about it.
Not in Texas.
Well, a group of I don't need it that big. Yeah, let's bring it back a little bit. There we go. A group of Texas protesters convicted of terrorism charges received unusually harsh sentences of at least 50 years in prison on Tuesday in a closely watched case that was widely seen as a test case of the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on dissent. After they're cracking down because people broke the law.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with their dissent.
Yeah.
3-week jury trial. The 9 activists were all found guilty of a slew of criminal charges in March, stemming from a 4th of July protest at an immigrant detention facility in Alvarado, Texas, south of Fort Worth. The demonstrators arrived late at night with a plan to set off fireworks as part of a noise demonstration to show solidarity with those detained inside. A few of the protesters spontaneously broke off from the main group and vandalized cars in the parking lot, a guard shack, slashed tires on a government van, broke a security camera. When a police officer arrived on the scene and drew his weapon, one of the activists fired an AR-15 from the woods, hitting the officer in the shoulder. The officer survived. That's not your peaceful protesters.
No.
Peaceful
not.
protesters aren't carrying ARs. Benjamin Song, who fired the gun at the police officer, was sentenced to 100 years in prison. He was convicted of attempted murder of an officer of the U.S., as well as firearm and explosive charges. He was also convicted of riot, providing material support to terrorists. He faced anywhere from 20 years to life in prison. Several others sentenced to 50. Maricela Ruda, another demonstrator, was sentenced to 70 years. All 6 were convicted of riot, providing material support, explosive charges, and also convicting of corruptly concealing a document or record. Evans, Hill, Morris, and Ruda were acquitted on attempted murder and firearm charges. The sentences handed down on Tuesday were unusually long, said McQuaid, the former federal prosecutor. Most often, judges will sentence defendants for separate counts concurrently. Here it appears the judge stacked the sentences for each count consecutively. The Trump administration praised the sentences. So, if there's no consequences, they're going to keep doing the dumb shit they're going to do. And this is the first time anybody's really been held accountable. And this definitely was a serious situation when you're firing on, and, when you're making up the protest, not just some counter protest where you're trying to create trouble. And since when can you just go and, shoot off fireworks anywhere? Shooting it off at your house or on your own property is one thing. But taking it out into the streets, or, hey, I got an idea. I mean, what if the 3 of us, I know I got a great idea. Let's go to the Queen Creek Police Department, and we'll set off fireworks in their parking lot.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Right?
Nothing will happen.
That's just, what do you expect? That's just stupid.
Yeah.
So, but again, in this case, very dangerous, and it ends up, that what they really think of these ICE officers, and taking one and shooting him in the shoulder.
Well, yeah, they said unusually long sentences. Well, how long should you be sentenced for shooting a cop? What is your opinion on that? I would love to know, because the fact that you served, it says she was a former federal prosecutor for the Obama administration in the Eastern District of Michigan. Yeah. 15 to 25 years? No. Like, you're shooting, not only you're obstructing what they're trying to do, their operations, you fucking shot a guy in the shoulder and could have fucking killed him. Like, how many inches away was that a guy away from death?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why that should be attempted murder in my eyes.
Right.
I mean, what else? How else would you possibly perceive that?
Yeah, because it's not like he was being threatened. He didn't do it in self-defense.
Yeah, like
That's not what it was.
you inserted yourself into that and then shot a
exactly.
guy. You deserve what you got.
Yeah, and I hope more of them get held responsible for
absolutely.
this. But we haven't ever really seen that. So that's why I thought this one was interesting. That finally something happened. Something was done. And last but not least, the Senate. They've made a number of votes recently, and this time voting again. But in this case, the anti-war bill that was in the Senate passed 50 to 48. Couple of Republicans didn't vote. 4 Republicans voted with Democrats, all the typical ones that we know. And then, of course, you had Fetterman voting with the Republicans on this. This is just so stupid. You can't have a president. No president should be hampered by this, even a Democratic president. You can't negotiate or win a war when you have the people who behind you taking away the leverage that you have and giving leverage to a country that really doesn't have much in the way of leverage right now. Now you're giving it to them, and this is why things have been delayed in the first place, and that Iran has been with this back and forth. Yes, we'll do a deal. No, we won't do a deal. And Trump sounding stupid. We got a deal. We don't have a deal, and we're sick of hearing it. This is what they wanted. Because of what our Congress is doing, because of how they're arguing about this, they know, can we just wait it out a little while? Can we just wait it out? And then they'll take care of it. They'll give us the leverage card, because the leverage to get the deal signed, and that if you don't let us get the things that we think are most important, like getting any of the nuclear dust or whatever you want to call that, getting that out, they could say no. And what are we going to do about it? Because that's what they're saying. No, we're not going to agree. What are you going to do about it? Because they know, well, your Senate said you can't. But here's the thing with this, just so you know, Trump can veto this, and they don't have enough votes to override the veto. That's not going to happen. So it's symbolic, but even being symbolic gives the other side that leverage. And that's leverage that you don't want to give up in a negotiation. That just ruins how you would negotiate. So don't tell me Trump's a lousy negotiator when you're taking one of his arms and tying it behind his back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of look at it in the same sense of like how, guns are allegedly a big issue here in the United States. And they talk about, oh, well, if we outlaw guns, there'd be less gun violence and this. Criminals don't play by the rules. Bad guys don't play by the rules. So if you have one group of people who is bad and you have another group of people who is good, they're not doing the same thing that the good people are doing. The good people are good. They're doing it by the book. They're having fucking bills that are voted on and different executive orders and this and that. They're just waiting it out, like you said.
Yeah,
and just waiting for all.
Why
of that,
wouldn't they?
And then they're getting their build up, getting whatever they need to do to get right, and then they can say, oh, we're not agreeing to this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. Like, they're not going to play by these rules, and they never will. And unfortunately, like with people like this, these types of regimes, you kind of have to stoop down to their level a little bit, because they're not going to have some moral epiphany where they just all of a sudden are just, oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe we're a little bit more logical. We'll be more reasonable. No, that's never been their MO. So they're always going to use our goodwill, our good nature against us, 100%. And it'll never go away until we, like you said, we just fucking squash them. Like we squash them, and like it's not the Iranian people, just the government, the regime. Like you got to squash them.
But if some of the people, that's just the way of war.
Yeah.
If you want to win.
Yeah, well, they're gonna use that as leverage too. Like you said, they put civilians on the bridge. They'll probably put civilians on high targets, like in the area or maybe in the same building. So even if you do take them out, you have like, oh, well, you killed X amount of people. So who knows? Hopefully Hopefully this comes to an end soon. But I don't know. I don't know. This is tough. This has gone on way longer than it should have.
It's just stupid, and Rand Paul being one. Who was another one? Murkowski from Alaska. She's always one. Probably Susan Collins. If we looked up in there, it was one. I don't remember who the other guy was because I didn't think Mitch McConnell voted for it. I think Mitch McConnell didn't vote at all. Oh, Bill Cassidy. He was the one.
Yeah, it says
from
Bill
Louisiana.
Yeah.
And he's on his way out.
Fetterman opposed it.
He lost it. Right. Yeah. He's the only Democrat
That's crazy, man.
that voted with the Republicans.
Like if you didn't know any better, you'd think he was a Republican sometimes, man. Like just the way that he just goes against the grain with them sometimes. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. And again, it's not really going to change anything, but it does matter. The sentiment does matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this is also dragging out, because they can use this to drag it out.
Yeah.
To shape public opinion.
They buy
and
for
we're
time.
doing it. Yeah.
Every time we hit a massive blow to them, they're just waiting around on us to bicker amongst each other or with Israel, whatever the fuck it is, and then they're using that to fucking get their wits about them.
Of course, we like to see gas drop to $80 a barrel or lower.
Yeah.
You know, they know that. They're not stupid.
Yeah, and that's pretty much like that's like their golden key. Really, that like in the Strait of Hormuz, like if they don't have that, like they have nothing.
Zero.
Nothing. So it's very easy, but also tricky at the same time to navigate the situation.
Fucking Republicans. All right. Anybody got anything else? Anything interesting? Anybody want to contribute?
No, let's go USA. I'm waiting for that World Cup trophy.
When does the US play again?
Probably not till the end of this week. That's usually been like, let me look.
Well, this is Wednesday.
True, yeah, I guess. Let's see here.
Because they play Turkey, right?
Yeah, and also another thing that I'm curious about: has it always been Turkey A? Because that's how I hear them pronounce it, and I've never heard anybody pronounce it other than Turkey. Even people from like Turkey are referring it to it.
In Spanish, it's Turquia.
Huh. I've learned a lot of different pronunciations for countries that I've never heard before. But we play June 25th. So what? That's a couple of days from now, right?
Today's the 23rd, so Friday.
Oh yeah, Thursday. That's tomorrow.
Friday. No, today's the 24th?
Yeah, today's the 24th.
Oh, okay, so tomorrow.
They play tomorrow at 7 p.m. Oh, they got 2 games at 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, every third game is always played at the same time to prevent teams from
like
being a bunch of bitches.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. They see a certain result or like something. Yeah,
I think it was like in 1996, I want to say, or 86, that there was a whole there was 2 teams that they found out that if they both drew, they would both advance.
Oh my God!
They basically just passed the ball around for 90 minutes.
That is
so
horrible.
After that, FIFA, ever since then, the World Cup decided that the very last game of the group stage rounds are always played at the same time, so teams can't do that.
Well, that's
funny.
Makes sense.
Thanks for telling me information I didn't know. That's good information. That's good stuff. Good contribution there. So so we'll have that to talk about Friday. That'll be interesting. And then see how the pairings start to line up and potentially line up.
We get a lot more concrete answers by that time, too.
For sure. All right. We're in the middle of the week. We're grinding along. Things are going good. I hope things are going well for you. Hit that follow button. Share the show. Share some clips. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
I would make it this far. They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah. Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say, I got him picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting.